Tina Turner. 10 basically the best melodies and the narratives behind them. Tina Turner, who's passed on at 83 years old, made numerous exemplary accounts with her triumphant mix of R&B, funk, rock, and pop, all performed with her particular crude vocal power. The songs tell her story, beginning with her unhappy partnership with her first husband, Ike, and ending with her comeback in the 1980s thanks to a British synth pop group. Here are a few of her most well-known and loved songs. Number 1, River Deep, Mountain High, 1966. In 1960, Tina had success with Ike, and 6 years later, producer Phil Spector asked her to work on one of pop music's masterpieces. Albeit the melody was credited to the couple, Spector didn't need the controlling Ike in the studio, and Tina was glad to work with another person. She was shocked to learn that the producer had put together an orchestra and choir in their entirety to make his famous Wall of Sound. She wrote in her autobiography, "I was just a girl from Tennessee who got caught up with Ike and became a singer. I'd only ever seen something like this in a movie." In the UK, the record reached number 3, but it failed in the US. She stated that radio DJs said it wasn't black enough to be pop or white enough to be rhythm and blues. Number 2, Pleased Mary, 1971. After this tune was a hit for Trustworthiness Clearwater Restoration in 1969, Ike and Tina changed their slow nation rock vibe into a hazardous and legendary funk tribute to Opportunity. This one did make an impression on US music fans, starting with her sultry spoken introduction and then bursting into life with her exuberant vocals. It arrived at number 4 in the Board Graph and won a Grammy grant. This was the song that Beyoncé chose to perform when she paid tribute to Tina at the Kennedy Center Honors in 2005. The duo performed it as a duet at the Grammy Awards 3 years later. Number 3. A church house, gin house / a schoolhouse, outhouse is a famous line from Nutbush City Limits, 1973, in which Tina famously describes her Tennessee hometown. The upbeat tune brought back memories of her chaotic upbringing when she spent some time picking cotton. On weekdays, you go to the field, and on Labor Day, you have a picnic. After years of being abused by Ike, Tina left him 3 years after the song was released, putting her career in jeopardy. Number 4, We Should Remain Together, 1983. Tina needed to begin once more and develop herself back as an independent craftsman. She met 2 members of the English electro-pop group Heaven 17 at a pivotal moment in that comeback, which would result in even greater success than before. Tina didn't have a record deal, and Martin Ware and Glenn Gregory were looking for one last singer for an album of cover versions for their British Electric Foundation project. There were no other musicians present when she entered Abbey Road Studios. "Where's the group?" she asked, anticipating an orchestra resembling Phil Spector. Synthesizers, on the other hand, produced the music. They first recorded Ball of Confusion by The Temptations, followed by Let's Stay Together by Al Green, which became her first UK top 10 hit in a decade. Number 5, What's Love Got to Do With It, 1984. This song, written by Terry Britten and Graham Lyle and previously offered to Bucks Fizz, Sir Cliff Richard, and Donna Summer, solidified her status as a solo artist. At first, Tina thought it was too light and floral. However, she consented to record it in the event that she could do it as she would prefer, strongly, with gravity and crude inclination. Turner achieved her only US solo number 1 and won Record of the Year at the Grammys for her sexy, defiant rendition, which was accompanied by a music video featuring her striding along the streets of New York in denim and black leather. It worked. In addition, at 44, she became the oldest woman to achieve a US number 1 single. Number 6, Confidential Artist, 1984. The title track from the top-rated collection was first recorded by Desperate Waterways, having been composed by the band's frontman, Imprint Knopfler. Yet, he concluded it didn't exactly measure up for a male vocal. In a subsequent interview, Tina stated that she was unaware that the song was about a sex worker. She wrote in her autobiography, "I never had to stoop to that in my life. However, I believe that the majority of us have, at some point or another, been forced to sell ourselves. When I sang that song, I was thinking about the sadness of doing something that you don't want to do, day in and day out, when I gave in to Ike, when I kept quiet to avoid an argument, and when I stayed with him despite wanting to leave. It is very moving. Jeff Beck plays guitar in the song, and Arlene Phillips, a former judge on Strictly Come Dancing, choreographed the video, which was shot in London's Rivoli Ballroom. Number 7. We Don't Need Another Hero, 1985. This was another Britton and Lyle song that was used in the Mel Gibson movie Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. This song, as well as Tina herself, appeared in the movie. The lyrics of this classic power ballad from the 1980s reflected the desolation of the film's post-apocalyptic setting. Turner played Auntie Entity, a character she said she liked because she was strong and resilient in the music video. Tina stated she went through so much to get the men in her world to respect her. She lost so much. Because I had experienced her struggles, I could relate to them. The melody was one more hit, coming to number 2 in the US and procuring a Grammy selection and an Ivor Novello grant. Number 8, The Best, released in 1989. This song was initially written for Bonnie Tyler, but the Welsh singer only had a minor hit with it in 1988. One of Tina's signature songs and one of the decade's defining anthems, she added some additional vocal force and a new soft rock production the following year. A line from the song's well-known chorus is frequently used in the erroneous title, Simply the Best. Over the course of history, it has been the subject of numerous advertisements, one of which featured Turner herself. Additionally, it was used to advertise rugby league in Australia. Number 9, Steamy Windows, 1989. This song also appeared on Turner's 1989 album For an Affair. The sultry, bluesy lyrics of the track made it clear to listeners what was going on in the backseat. Turner sang about leading a sexual encounter on yet another feminist and empowering track. At the time, Music Week called it a delightfully risque number with mischievous guitar runs. During an interview with Emma Watson on ITV's Lorraine a few years ago, the single made a surprise appearance when the A-list actress's phone rang, and the song was Steamy Windows. A true fan of Tina. Number 10, a James Bond theme is a significant achievement for any artist. GoldenEye, 1995. The producers of Bond requested her for Pierce Brosnan's debut as 007 following the success of Tina's 1993 biopic What's Love Got to Do With It, which received an Oscar nomination. Bono and The Edge of U2 wrote the GoldenEye theme itself. The frontman gave her a demo of sorts, yet she had a ton of work to do. She told the BBC in 2018 that he didn't make a proper demo, someone had just thrown the music together. I thought, how would I assemble this? I was not being shown the melody. As a result, I created something that was as close to the melody as I could imagine. I had to put in a lot of effort. At the time, I was aware that I could sing anything.